Stop for a moment, touch your skin, what you're feeling. Is that you, or are you something else living inside that body? Today we're going to explore one of the most unsettling questions humanity has ever asked, and the answer might forever change how you see yourself. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. What you see reflected back is made up of roughly 37 trillion cells. To put that number in perspective, there are at least 10 times more cells in your body than stars in our galaxy. Each individual cell is a microscopic universe, a biological machine composed of up to 50,000 different proteins working in perfect harmony. But here's the strange part. Every single cell has no consciousness. It doesn't know it exists, has no dreams, fears, or desires. It simply is. Yet billions of these unconscious entities have come together to create something extraordinary: your awareness, your memories, your personality. Now, let's try a thought experiment. If you were to donate an organ tomorrow, billions of your cells would continue living inside another person. Those cells carry your DNA, your biological history. A part of you would literally be living in someone else. But would you still be you? Or would that person have acquired a piece of your identity? Let's push this concept further. Imagine meeting a stranger on the street and starting to exchange cells with them, one at a time. Their cells enter your body, yours enter theirs. At what point would you become them and they become you? Is there a precise moment when this transformation happens? Or is it more like a slow, bizarre biological teleportation? But reality is even more mind-bending than any thought experiment. As you listen to these words, your body is constantly dying and being reborn. Right at this moment, about 250 million of your cells have died. Between 1 and 3 million more will die in the next second. It's a silent massacre happening continuously inside you. Over the course of 7 years, virtually every cell in your body gets replaced at least once. This means the you from 7 years ago is literally dead and buried. The cells that make up your brain right now, the ones processing these words, aren't the same ones you had as a child. Yet you still feel like the same person. It's like you're a ship sailing through the ocean of time, constantly replacing its own planks, sails, and anchor. At some point, no part of the original ship exists anymore, yet it continues to be the same ship, or at least that's how it seems to us. But sometimes this delicate balance breaks down. Sometimes certain cells decide to break your body's social contract. They stop dying when they should, start multiplying without control. We call them cancer cells, but really, they're just parts of you that have chosen their own survival over yours. Cancer isn't an external invader. It's an internal rebellion, a part of you that has decided to become immortal. And in a way, it succeeds. The story of Henrietta Lacks proves this perfectly. In 1951, this young woman died of cancer, but her cells continue to live today in laboratories around the world. They've been multiplied until they've reached at least 20 tons of biological mass. Henrietta died 70 years ago, yet parts of her are still alive, still growing, still dividing. How much of Henrietta exists in those cells? Is she still herself in some way? Or have they become something else entirely? Maybe the answer lies in our DNA, in the genetic code that makes each cell uniquely ours. For years, we believed that all our cells shared the exact same genetic code, like perfect copies of the same book. But this too has proven false. Your genome is constantly moving, changing over time through mutations and environmental influences. Your brain is particularly active in this regard. Every neuron in an adult brain can have more than 1,000 mutations in its genetic code that aren't present in surrounding cells. Your brain is literally a mosaic of different genetic identities. But how much of your DNA is truly yours? About 8% of the human genome is made up of viruses that once infected our ancestors and permanently merged with us. We're partially made of ancient invaders we now call home. And then there are mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells. They were once independent bacteria that decided to merge with our cells' ancestors billions of years ago. They still have their own DNA, their own genetic identity. Every cell of yours contains hundreds of these little foreigners that aren't technically human, but are still an essential part of you. It's becoming clear just how complicated the question, "Who are you?" really is. You're not a static object with clear boundaries. You're more like a dynamic pattern, a configuration of matter and energy that's constantly changing but maintains a certain coherence over time. You're like a candle flame. The flame appears stable and permanent, but it's actually a continuous process. The wax molecules burning right now aren't the same ones from a minute ago, yet the flame maintains its shape, its heat, its light. You are that flame, a self-sustaining pattern without clear boundaries that, at some point, gained self-awareness and now has the extraordinary ability to reflect on itself across time and space. But when did this pattern you call you begin? At the moment of your conception? When the first human appeared? When life began conquering this small blue planet? Or perhaps when the elements that make up your body were forged in the heart of a star that exploded billions of years ago? Our human brains evolved to handle absolutes, right or wrong, alive or dead, me or you. But reality is made of fuzzy boundaries that are hard to grasp. Maybe concepts like beginning and end, life and death, you and me, aren't really absolutes, but ideas belonging to a fluid pattern, a pattern that gets lost and found in this strange and beautiful universe. The question of who we are isn't just about our bodies, but also about our minds. Just as our cells can be divided and separated from us, so too can our brains be divided and separated from us, while still remaining in our skull. But that's another story for another day. The next time you look in the mirror, remember, you're observing a temporary miracle, a pattern of dead stars that learn to think, a wave in the ocean of existence that for a brief, incredible moment became aware of itself. And maybe, just maybe, that's more wonderful than any definitive answer we could ever find. If this journey through the boundaries of your identity has made you think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the mysteries of human existence. Because after all, there's nothing more fascinating than trying to understand who we really are.